exciting, enjoyable, and I'd have to say expected. Not in an arrogant way, but I think with the squad we had and the parachute payments and everything, I think really if we hadn't got promoted by one means or another, then it would have been a disappointing season. When people sort of see the results and see those 7-0s and we had, in fact, I think we've scored 4 or more goals on 11 occasions this season in the league, but it's none of those results that have stood out for me. It's the ones where we've really had to dig in and fight for the results. They were sort of results like back in, I think it was early November, we played Peterborough away, who were fighting for their lives, beat them 1-0, Alexander Mitrovic header. We played Hull away, beat them 1-0, Alexander Mitrovic header. There's a theme developing here. Cardiff away, sort of physical team, really sort of put us under pressure in that regard, beat them 1-0, Alexander Mitrovic header. Probably the most key one was probably a few weeks ago at Middlesbrough, pushing for the playoffs, and we beat them 1-0, Alexander Mitrovic header. He gets talked about going, he can do it in the Championship, but he can't do it in the Premier League. The first time he got promoted with Fulham, he did score 11 goals in the Premier League in a team that got relegated. Now, I'm not saying that's amazing, it's not golden boot territory, but in a struggling team, it's not dreadful. And then last time in the Premier League, he didn't really play. He wasn't starting matches. I think if he plays, he will get goals. I don't think Mo Salah or Cristiano Ronaldo need to be worried, or Sadio Mane or Harry Kane need to be particularly worried about the golden boot, but you never know. I think he's a player who loves to be loved and needs to be loved, and I think he's got that at Fulham. He's definitely got that at Fulham. The fans adore him. The manager adores him. I think all the fans were just desperate for him to get his first goal and get off the mark, and it was probably one of the scrappiest goals I've ever seen, which was away at Huddersfield, where I don't even know if he knows how it went in. It sort of, he fell over and it hit him and it came off his knee and sort of, but I think that was a sort of important one just to get him up and running. No one at that point thought he'd go on and get 43 goals. I mean, it's been ridiculous, but we're not a one-man team, but he's definitely been a key part to Fulham's success this season. We didn't sign that many players in the summer, but one of the players that we did sign was Harry Wilson, but he's been excellent both in chipping in with goals, but also his assists. I think he's got 19 assists this season, one away from the record, I think. Other players like Tim Ream, who at the back, who was one of the players who was cast aside last season, didn't really play that much, and then was asked to come back in again and play. He's been really solid at the back. So obviously, we've got a player who's probably it looks like almost certainly will be leaving in Fabio Carvalho. He doesn't look like he's a teenager. He's and the Championship can be tough. It can be a physical league, and he's more than held his own in the league, and he's been excellent at times. Really, really skillful player, and I fully expect him to go on and have a really good career wherever that may be. It looks like Liverpool, but we'll wait till that's sort of announced. But I would love him to sign a contract at Fulham, play next season with an agreement that he can go next summer, just get that season in the Premier League under his belt, and then join Liverpool, because he's still only a teenager. He's got plenty of years left ahead of him. As long as he's playing football for his own development, that's the sort of main thing for him, I think. We're in that period now. We've been promoted, so there are stories going around every morning. You wake up and you can look through social media and stuff and see players being linked. Player I would like, who we've got at the moment on loan from Liverpool, is Neco Williams, Welsh international, who's a very, very good player. I'd imagine most other, a lot of Premier League clubs, he wouldn't struggle to get in the team. He just happens to be behind Trent Alexander-Arnold at Liverpool, so he's probably not going to get much of a look in there. He's adapted really well. He's fitted in really well. He's got Harry Wilson, who's his mate at the club, and I'd love to sign him. Other than that, I think a commanding centre-back. I'd probably say a goalkeeper as well. That might not go down well with many Fulham fans. They might think that Marek Rodak deserves his chance in the Premier League. I just think there might be an opportunity with the World Cup in just a few months. There might be a few English goalkeepers who think, I need to be playing football in the Premier League. Is there a loan deal that can be done for somebody like that? We've only had 2 London derbies this season, which were QPR and Millwall. Looking forward to Tottenham to go to that stadium. Brentford will be up there next season. It'll be interesting to go to their stadium. They've got a pretty good record against Fulham, so I don't know if I say I'm looking forward to that or not. But I think as a football fan, you want to test yourself at the highest level, and so all those teams, whether it be Arsenal or Chelsea or Manchester City, Manchester United, they're all games that you want to be playing in, and I want to see Fulham playing in, and you never know. But if I was to pick one, I would love to see Fulham win at Stamford Bridge. Probably Fulham and Marco Silva came together at the right time for both parties. He's been excellent. start with that. He's been just what the club needed. I think a breath of fresh air. I think it's very, very difficult when a club's been relegated, getting beaten every week. You know, morale is on an all-time low, and then you have to come in at the start of the next season in a different division and try and pick yourselves up. And he came in and he pretty much did that. And I think it's probably what the club needed after the previous manager, just a change. And he's been excellent. And I think I'd like to think he knows that he can't do that again and just walk away when a bigger job comes along, because it might not work out. You know, he's built something at Fulham, and I'd like to think the sort of romantic part of the football fan inside me would like to think that that would mean something to him, and that, you know, he is very strongly appreciated by the fans, and that building something at Fulham is more worthwhile for him in his managerial career than walking away to a potentially bigger job. But of course, if he gets off to a good start next season, then of course there's always a worry that he could go somewhere. I can't remember the last time we had a season where we just had a sort of mid-table sort of. We've always been, I think, pretty much since we got relegated in 2014. We nearly got relegated again, so we were in relegation battles at the bottom of the Championship. Then we were in playoff battles, and it's just, I would bite your hand off for 16th place next season. I really, really hope we get it right. We've made so many mistakes in the transfer market in the previous two attempts. I'd love to think that lessons have been learned and we just get it right. I think we need to get off to a good start. That's always key. And you look at how Brentford did this season; they got off to a really good start. It's going to be interesting next season with the break. No one knows how that's going to be with the World Cup. Could that be a good thing? Could that be a bad thing? I don't know. Look, we won the Championship. I'm still on a bit of a high. I'm going to be positive, and I'm going to say yes, we are going to stay up. Ask me in the second week of August, and I might change my mind. But yes, we will get it right this season, and somehow we will not be in the bottom three.